Okay, I'm sitting here looking scary because I'm in the bathtub, and I've got that lavender honey face wash mask stuff on my face. Plus, I'm swollen from sleeping too. I get swollen in the morning. Anyhow, my eyes are looking weird. But anyway, oh, and look, I'm wearing a tiara, and I'm doing that because you know what? You have to be outrageous sometimes, and it's fun to wear a tiara in the bathtub, especially if I'm not going to be washing my hair that day, so I do it. Um, okay, the way I'm doing this is I'm watching your vlog, and when I get to a point where I want to comment, I'm pausing it, and I'm making my comment, and then I'm going back to watching it. That's probably the most um, efficient way to do this. Um, so my first comment is this. I would never tell you that I thought you didn't love yourself. I don't know who told you that, but whoever it did was a little presumptuous unless they actually know you and have known you and can make that assessment. Um, because what we know of one another online is it's fragmented and it's narrow, and we have to assemble all the little strips into some piece that approximates who the other person is. So that's pretty. Um, uh, well, let me put it this way: it's not the way I would do it. So whatever. Um, Also, you're entitled to every perception and opinion you have. I'm not going to try to dissuade you from anything you say or think or feel. Rather, the way I'm going to handle my response is to speak from I language, which is really the only authentic place I can speak from. So, um, uh, I wanted to talk about um, well, the confidence will come later. There was one thing I wanted to preface all this with, and I'm still kind of sleepy and I'm having a hard time remembering. Maybe it's the weight of my crown. Let me take that off. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm lighter. I feel lighter now. It has to, I wanted to say, oh god dang it, I'll think of it later. So I'm going to put pause. Okay, I remember what I was going to say. Um, it's, um, it's just this. When I watched that I'm fat, 40, and getting laid thing, I did it from the perspective of not trying to, well, avoiding voicing my moral judgment on it, because I have a moral judgment on it, but I I focus more on the idea of confidence and what she was saying about how that's uh, attractive, or whatever it was she said about it, how it plays into her, her theme, the theme of fat women and getting sex and having men and all that. And so I just wanted to preface all of this by saying I intentionally didn't talk about that earlier. I am going to make mention of that when I'm done scrubbing my face and washing. Okay, so I am lying here with my wonderful flannel sheet, protecting my electronics from being, sorry about the finger in front of there, being dropped into the tub. Okay, I want to speak just a little bit to the whole moral judgment deal about what she's talking about. Um, in much the same way that I try to give respect to um, religious writings that aren't of my own faith or belief system, I also try to respect other people's opinions on things like um, uh, morals, maybe not so much ethics, but morals, and sexual behavior, and community behavior, uh, uh, punishments from society to society, that sort of stuff. I could yap and yap and yap about all that from a from any perspective I choose. White Christian tradition, middle America, middle-aged perspective if I wanted to, or any other perspective I wanted to adopt. But um, I, the way I feel about the whole year of recreational sex, is that that wouldn't be a good idea for me, and I don't think it would be a good idea for a lot of humans just worldwide. And here's why. Human beings, we all share a bunch of basic needs, including the need to couple up and reproduce. The need to couple up is because in our societies back to the caveman days, men and women had and continue to have um, entire universes of strengths and weaknesses, and it's like a Venn diagram. When you get a couple, when a couple comes together, and they're going to have overlapping strengths and weaknesses that sit in the center, and then they will have their own unique strengths and weaknesses that lie on either side. It's it is the union of those of the capacities of both people in a couple that most um, safely tends to raise our young, and so the need to couple up for reproduction, which is, I think, a biological need, is it's kind of inherent in everybody. It spills over into how most societies, although not all societies, work. Is that to say that that gays have no place or celibates have no place in our societies? In my opinion, absolutely not. There is absolutely a place for everyone, even the gal who does the year of sexual freedom. There's a place for her in that as well. All I'm saying is that for me, that doesn't feel authentic. Authentic feels like what I ended up with. A marvelous man who adores me. I don't even know if he sees me as BBW or what, because we never talk about it. We've been together for 8 years. About the closest we come to talking about it is, Cheryl, you better make sure you're taking enough vitamin C. And I've noticed you haven't had any green vegetables lately. Let's go to the store. That kind of stuff. He never takes food out of my hand or shames me or makes me feel bad about going to bed with M&Ms and a book for 3 days. He's respectful of me and my process. Um, only um, and will only jump in when it's a comment about general health. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's not right. Maybe he's supposed to be hounding me. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing, but I can say this: whatever he is doing and whatever I am doing has worked beautifully for the years we've been together, and he is very happy because I adore him, and I do everything in my power to make him happy and do stuff for him that I know he appreciates, like making his breakfast in the morning, or making sure there's a dinner, or the whole snuggle and cuddle in bed and talk thing. I mean, to validate him as much as I can without pandering, because we don't agree on everything. So anyway, this is my long-winded way of saying that, yeah, I wouldn't do that, what she's doing. However, she brings up some really interesting points about being attractive, and what makes people attractive to one another. Like I said, both erotically and platonically. So I'm going to address some of that as I continue watching. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. There, you can actually see me, which might not necessarily be the best thing, but you're stuck with it. She yeah, she's talked about about the topic of casual sex and getting it as a BBW, very exuberantly. In fact, the entire tone of her article was exuberant, and I don't know, maybe she's just that way all the time. I have no idea. It didn't bother me for some reason. I'm not sure why. I I don't know. Maybe I'm didn't pick up the subtext or something, but it just seemed like someone who a good writer who was trying to convince us of her argument. I don't know. Maybe it was braggartly. I don't know. I would have to go back and watch the thing again a third time to analyze it. But just gut feeling is I felt like she was trying to sell the idea, soft sell actually the idea, because she put in a lot of stuff like this wouldn't necessarily be right for everybody, and not every guy you're going to attract is worthy, well, not worthy, but is safe or appropriate to, hop in the sack with. She warned against fetishists, and she talked about some fairly subtle things like the bucket listers. I think perhaps the big buff guy that she's with may very well be a fetishist, who knows, and that might be cool between the two of them. That's okay too. So anyway, I just this is simply a comment on perception, and how from person to person our perceptions can be so very different, and your perception and my perception could both be wrong. I mean, reality might be something else. I mean, her reality might be something else. But anyhow, I absolutely agree with you that for me, I don't see that attracting casual sex is an achievement, only because, like you said, it's everywhere. And any woman who nods her head in a crowd of men is going to have, a certain percentage of them follow her home. So, yeah, I'm okay. I put my crown back on there because this subject requires a little bit of nobility. The points that you raised about if you have a serious sexual friendship with somebody, how often do you see them? Which is really, that's the question that gets begged, is how serious can it be if it's just for sex? I mean, if they're out hanging out, doing stuff, going over to his mom's to make her dinner, or her dad's to change his bandages, or if they're doing stuff out in real life besides just the sexual life, then I think you could call it a serious sexual friendship. But if all they get together for is sex, I don't get how you can use the term serious, because oh my, it's an phone likes to turn off. By having sex as the only criteria for your being in the same room at the same time points up the lack of seriousness about the relationship. In my view. Again, I want to say again, since I don't know her or her partners or what they do outside of the bedroom, that all may be very true in her relationship. I don't know, but the way it's coming across, and I think you and I are both experiencing it the same way, is that this is simply sex with no expectation of a coupled up relationship to occur as a result of any of these relationships, for lack of a better word. Okay, I'm going to watch more of your video.